All right, welcome back to Friday Night We Run. We are here with Coach Hawkins from the Clarksville Generals. Coach, first W in the books. What does this first mean win for you and the program?
It means a lot. It means a lot for the, more importantly, for the program to just get off the losing spell, to let the kids believe that we can win. And Friday night was a good experience for not only the kids, but the crowd was into the game. It was fun to watch them, how excited they were, and how excited our kids got at the end of the game. And so it was an overall big win for everybody.
All right. It was 7-6 going in, after the halftime. What adjustments did you make to kind of open everything up?
Well, we started out slow. I started out slow with the passing game because I was kind of getting Caleb, trying to get his feet wet a little bit. I didn't want to start him too fast. He didn't really throw good in warm-ups. And I was a little worried that he was a little anxious and a little upbeat. So I was trying to run the game a little bit. And, we kind of started slow. We missed a couple touchdowns that Caleb usually can hit. And he finally, when we came back out of halftime, Caleb finally got into a rhythm. When he got in a rhythm, he really threw it well.
How have you seen the team grow since the start of summer workouts up until the first game of the season?
Well, the biggest thing is they're starting to believe in themselves, and their attitudes have changed. When we first got here, they were kind of bickering back and forth. It's always somebody else's fault, and that's the number one majority of what we wanted to fix. And our kids are getting a lot better at that.
I'd be crazy if I didn't talk about your freshman quarterback, Caleb Hawkins. You're also your son. I want to ask you this question as a coach. What was your take on his performance as a coach?
As a coach, I thought the biggest thing to me was he started slow. He started, I think, 0 for 4 or 0 for 5, and he didn't let that get to him. For being a 14-year-old kid and not getting upset and not getting mad and just staying with the game, believing that he would play well, believing that we would make the right calls, that was the best thing that I thought he did. Now, eventually he made some really nice throws, but I thought that his attitude and his head was in the game and acted the right way.
As a dad, how proud have you been of his progress from, let's just say, last year in middle school ball to his growth so far as a freshman?
He's gotten a lot better. He had a good 8th grade year, and he's been playing quarterback since he's been 6 years old. So he's got a lot of experience, and he's been waiting to be a high school football player his whole life. And I don't think there's going to be anything's going to be too big for him. Of course, he's going to be nervous, but as a dad, I was real proud of him.
I wanted to talk a little bit about your wide receiver, Julian Gibson, as well. He had 172 yards passing and 3 touchdowns. What opened up for him in the second half?
Well, he stayed with the plan. He didn't get real upset that he wasn't getting the ball. He's real fast. I think he long jumped 22 feet. He's a great athlete. During the summer, he had a lot of drops, and we knew if he would start catching the ball there, he was going to be a great receiver, and we think he is going to be a great receiver. But the other night, he had 0 drops, and that was pretty impressive.
He's only a sophomore, too, right?
He's only a sophomore.
Right. Keyshawn Muckle, he had 16 carries for 50 yards. How important is it to keep a run game, even though the passing game is working for you? How important is it to maintain your run game?
Well, you got to be able to run the ball so you can try to stay 50-50 or close to 50-50 run-pass ratio. Keyshawn's a good runner. Our offensive line, they were blitzing people in our offensive line. It kind of hurt him a little bit, but Keyshawn's a great running back. We think Keyshawn's going to run the ball well, and he's a big part of what we're doing. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. So, Keyshawn had 2 touchdowns, and we went down, and it was a big play on the goal line, and we put him in a Wildcat, and he ran it in. So, Keyshawn is only a sophomore, too, and we think he's going to be a great football player.
Defensively, you held Pike Central to 6 points in the first half, and it was back and forth pretty good throughout the game, but I thought you got some good play out of Wacker and Dakota Keedy. What did you like about your defense, and what's some of the improvements you're looking to make for the next game?
The good thing is our defense played really well. It doesn't look like that because of the points, but we gave up 2, I think, kickoff return touchdowns, and we gave up a long one. So we gave up 3 bad spots for the defense, and then I think we fumbled once and gave them a bad spot. So when they had to go the whole field, we stopped them. And Dakota Keedy is a great defensive line. We got 4 great defensive linemen. Dakota Keedy, Manning, Christian Gonzalez, and Brody Hagan. Our D line is probably one of our strengths. Lachlan played a great game. We just keep thinking that Lachlan's just going to get better every week.
Yeah. Looking forward to this week. You have Eastern Pekin coming in. You know the school, you know some of the players, but they too have a new head coach, at the helm. So what are you expecting from Pekin this week and a revamped Musketeer squad?
Well, they got beat last week by West Washington pretty good. So, they're going to be fired up. They're going to come in here thinking they can get a win because it's Clarksville, and they're going to be ready to play. Jordan's going to have them well prepared, and they run a kind of Brownstown style offense, and they blitz a lot on defense, so we're going to have to be able to block them, and we're going to have to be able to give Caleb protection and try to move the ball a little bit that way. So, I think it'll be I hope it's not a good game, but I'm looking for it to be a pretty good game.
Right. Well, Coach, you secured your first win as a coach at Clarksville, Game 1. Your son threw for record numbers here. What do you think your dad would think about his son and his grandson at this moment?
He'd probably be crying.
Yeah.
The funny thing about that, I've said, and I've told a couple people this, I said I never saw my dad cry unless he was in front of his football team. And that's the only time I saw my dad cry. Now, he cried later in life down the road, different things. But when I was in high school or right out of high school, the only time I ever saw my dad cry was when he's talking to his football team. And, I think he got to watch Lainey run a conference track meet. She finished like 5th as a freshman, and that made him cry too. So he was very proud of Lainey and Caleb, and I don't think he could believe it.
Yeah.
So
it's a dynamic that a storyline we're going to watch all year. And Coach Hawkins, we appreciate your time and look forward to being back here every week with you.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm glad that you're here. I'm looking forward to doing this every week and getting more players up here and different players. And I think this is good for Clarksville football and for Clarksville.
You heard it here. Coach Hawkins, Friday Night Rewind.